Yeah, why? You don't like doing it?
No, you do it. You're better.
You got the great microphone. I love how your voice sounds on the radio. It's so deep and full,
Oh,
like with
really?
that mic.
Ooh.
Yeah, and clear. It seems like you're in a box.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I actually had this. We had this meeting with, or like the voice acting class that I have, and then I used this
Yeah,
microphone, and they're like, "Whoa, you sound so much better." I was like, "Really?" I don't. They're like, "Yeah,
yeah.
your voice has changed." I'm like, I don't know if it's the microphone or it's this class. It's been working. I'm
Just
not
say it's a
sure.
microphone.
Yeah, they're like, it's the microphone for sure. Your voice sucks, but the microphone, amazing. And then and then I told them about the podcast. So now I don't know if they're listening, but they could be.
Did you
So
check numbers?
it's a great class. Well, I can check the numbers, yeah, but I don't know who's listening or not. You know, so
Yeah,
I didn't notice a considerable spike in the ratings, but
it'll come
that's fine.
one day.
Yeah.
One day. All right. Three, two, one. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the BFFisode podcast. I am Kevin Various with the new haircut, and with me, as always, is
It's Ernie Vicente.
what's going on, Ernst?
Just doing this thing, this podcast, looking at your baby face and your
Baby
baby's head.
hair. Yeah.
I like how
I can't tell you enough though, Ernst. Like you have short hair now, but it's
mhm.
just so much better. I get it, bald people. I get it.
Yeah, I know. I like it. This is the Stone Cold Steve Austin head thing you have there going on. You're like a little kid,
I feel like a little kid.
and
Like even when I look in the mirror, sometimes I'm like, "Oh, who are you?"
you look like a Limp Bizkit.
Oh,
You look
Fred Durst.
yeah. You're expecting a child in March, right?
Yep.
And it's gonna be
But
weird.
I don't have to look that way.
It's gonna be weird knowing that your kid is like 2 months younger than you. You know.
Yeah.
Uh,
we're gonna take this when he comes out, take a side by side and be like, "This is me 5 minutes ago."
you're my dad.
Yeah. You look like you should be in the daycare or the whatever you call it.
You look like my buck buddy.
I swear to God, though, I feel like a little kid. I know I look like a little kid. I looked like a little kid before, but now with the hair, just there's something about it that is just liberating.
Yeah, you're dressing younger. You're dressing more hip with your plaid shirt,
Yeah.
backwards
People,
cap.
even Caitlin was making fun of me before. She's like, all you wear is like dad clothes.
Oh, before.
Yeah. Because it's just like your hair is all disheveled. You don't really give a shit. You're just like, and then Chris made that comment, like, your hair, like an old Filipino dad. And I'm like, fuck you all.
No, no,
I'll shave my head.
your hair didn't look like an old Filipino dad. You know what I mean? Old Filipino dads don't have your Jimmy Neutron hair.
I know, but it was like, I think it was like, I don't know. There was something about it that was kind of old.
Really? I don't know.
I don't know. I miss it though, but I this is probably not the right time to do it.
No,
Like
this is
it's,
the best time to do it.
you think so?
That's why I shave my head at the beginning of January because
Are
it's
you
winter.
doing that for like New Year, New You, or is that because of you like the feeling of the cold on your head?
No, because I wear hats anyways. Like when I go outside,
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
wear like a toque
yeah,
anyways, so the hair gets ruined. So if it's like short, you know what I mean, you don't get that hat hair.
yeah. I do miss that though.
Yeah. So
Uh, months of
hopefully
throwback.
things open up here soon so I can get a real haircut.
You did your last one, right?
Yeah, I cut it like 2 weeks ago, and then It looks
Yeah,
okay. You know,
yeah.
looks all right, but still not. You know.
For not using like a mirror for the back, it's pretty good,
Yeah, I just
right?
felt it.
Freehand.
I freehand, I freehanded it, and then you get so I get so annoyed. It's like it's been like half an hour. Like, oh my god, I can't do this. So I'm like, screw it. No one's gonna see the back of my head anyways. I'm just doing this for the Zoom, and I wear a hat anyways. So who cares?
Well, Ernst, I think we should transition into the question of this week.
Ooh.
And the question of this week is shopping carts.
Mm-hmm.
You leave them or do you put them away?
I
Which guy
uh,
are you?
I put them away.
You put them away?
Yeah, I purposely when I go to like Fortinos or Loblaws, I purposely park near the carts.
Ah, that's dangerous too, though.
It's a little dangerous, yes.
Because then when the thing overflows, people just get reckless.
And then just leave. Yeah.
Yeah,
You might get hit.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's true. But my car is very old, so like I don't really care. It's a 2012 Mazda.
Well, the reason why I was asking is because I went to the grocery store on the weekend with Frankie, and it's something that I would expect in like a no frills, but this was at like a superstore, and there was carts everywhere. Like
Mm-hmm.
not there was tons of carts in where they should be, and there was just a number of carts just spread out through the parking lot, and I was just like, I don't know what kind of a human you have to be to just leave that. You know what I mean? Like it's like leaving your food at the food court.
Yes. I always throw it out for sure. But
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't do that.
so you put it back. But I can understand. Maybe they're in a rush, or maybe they have like kids or something. And like I can't leave my kid by themselves in the car or something. Is that possible?
Oh, I mean, that can't be the excuse. I mean, you could lock the door and then put your cart away really quick, but
I
just
don't.
to leave it in a parking spot is such a dickhead move.
I know. I know. It's bad karma. I hate walk. I
There's
hate
oh, sorry, go ahead.
no like I hate going to like a Walmart and like I find like a perfect parking spot, and then I turn into the spot and that there's a cart there. Like, come on. That's why this is empty.
Okay, so if that happens, perfect spot. But there's a cart in there. Do you get out, move the cart, or do you just go look for another spot?
I look for another spot. Why would I? You want me to leave my car like in the middle of the lane just to move this cart?
No, you
No.
could kind of pull in. You could kind of pull in.
No, but then you
Most
gotta
people,
no, but then you gotta like turn off the car or leave it running, and you know, what if the cart's what if the cart rack is pretty far from the spot?
that's true.
Then
Yeah,
you gotta leave it. It's like, the whole thing.
there's a theory though. There's like a thing that was going around on. It could have been on any one of the forums, Facebook, Instagram. But it was like this thing where there's a theory of like the shopping cart theory, basically saying that if you are a person who chooses not to return the cart after you're done, it shows your values or your morals. Basically, you're a piece of shit because you don't think of anybody else except for yourself.
Ooh,
Yeah.
really?
You can look it up. Whoever is listening, it's an actual thing, unless it's just something that's made up. But this thing called the shopping cart theory, and if you are one of those people who don't return your carts for whatever reason, it shows what kind of person you are.
I've actually heard of this, and it's like a simple thing, but it's like it's actually like I believe in it. So I think we are good people, Kevin.
I'd like to think so. But are we good people when we see a cart that's in the middle of a parking spot and then just choose to to
That's
leave it.
no, but that's not. Come on. Like, you're asking me if I would go to, like, let's say I go to Walmart right now, and then, like, you're saying that if I'm a good person, that I would go in the parking lot and collect all the loose carts on
No,
my
no,
own.
no, no,
That's what
no,
you're saying,
no, no,
Kevin.
no, 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 no. That's just crazy.
You're saying
That's
if I
just
don't do that, I will not get into heaven. That's what you just said. I read between the lines. That's why I'm wearing glasses.
you know what I used to see all the time there though at the grocery store. And this is back. This is a little bit of, a few years back. I would assume back when cash was probably more frequently used.
Hmm.
But homeless people would always be outside of the grocery store, and
Yes.
they'd always ask for like they'd always ask for like, oh, do you have any spare change? Knowing you just returned your card, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
you have spare change,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
right?
That's a
And I
smart
don't. I'm
business.
not saying that I
Smart
don't like
business
these
idea.
guys.
Yeah.
Like the air cadets,
Hmm.
right? They stand out there, and I'm just like, why do you guys need to make me feel like if I don't give you something, I feel like a dick. If I
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
at the store, I'll just be like, I'll come back later.
Or
If I
just
don't have it,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
if I don't have anything.
No. Or what I do is I pretend like I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just walk by. Like, oh, sorry. I can't.
Hey, I'll get you
Business
guys on the
call.
way out. Okay, I'll get you guys on the way out.
Yeah. 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 Or in Toronto, you just pretend that you just don't know English. Like, hey,
Well, with you being like when the comedy shows were on, you probably on the streets probably saw enough homeless people.
now I actually don't see that many, but I remember because I used to live at Queen and no, I live at Queen and Bathurst. I used to live at King and Bathurst, and there's a Tim Hortons there, and I'd go there every day get my coffee, and because like in at King and Bathurst, you see like the same homeless people
Yeah,
all the time. So I remember I was sitting there back when we can sit inside, enjoy our coffee. You know, I would sit there, and then some guy, so that same homeless guy, he would he'd be like, "Oh, okay, do you have any change?" And I'm like, "But I have my earphones in." I'm like, "Oh no," right? And then because like here's the thing, I like giving to homeless. You know, it's a good karma. But at that Tim Hortons, there's a lot of homeless people there, hanging out. You know, and then if they see you give money to one dude, they're like, "Whoa, this guy's loaded.
yeah.
This guy's loaded. He gave Wheeler $2.
Wheeler.
Let's go pounce." You know, so I was like, "Oh no change, no sorry, no change." But then, I remember a few weeks later, I was sitting there it was like a Friday night, you know, and then the same homeless dude was like sitting behind me, and then a bunch of these older guys came in, and like they just came back from the bar. They're like all loaded, you know, and then they knew the homeless guy. They're like, "Yo, what's up, Wheeler? What's up, man?" And then they gave this guy like $20. I was like, "Oh my god, how dare I be so cheap and not give this guy any money?" You know, this guy is he's a celebrity. All these people know him on King Street. So I was like, you know what? The next time he asks me for change, I'm gonna give him some money. You know. So
Yeah,
the next day, Kevin, I went to that same Tim Hortons, and lo and behold, he was there. He was there, and then I was waiting for him, right? So I was sitting on the stool, and then he's like, "Hey, you have any change?" I was like, "No, but you know what? I'll buy you, I'll buy you a coffee." He's like, "Thanks, man." So we get in line, we order the coffee, right? I think it was like a large double. I was like, perfect. It's like less than $2. Sweet. And then he goes, can I also get a sandwich? I was like, sure, Sure, get a sandwich. So we got a ham sandwich. I'm like, all right, cool. Now I'm like, all right, this is, it's running it up. This is like $7 now. And then the girl behind the counter, she knows exactly what's happening. So she goes, "Oh, do you want a combo?" And I'm like, what is happening here? Are they working together? Do they?
So, did you get the combo?
Well, obviously, I'm standing in line, and everyone's watching. So I said, "Yes, he would like the combo. What would you like with the combo?" He's like, "Oh, I want the glazed one, the glazed donut." I'm like, "All right, yeah, take it." Okay, but it came up to like $10 now. I was like,
Yeah.
at first I felt good. I'm like, yes, I'm giving this guy a $2 coffee, and then now it's $10. You know, so to me, that was
So
like
that was it. After that, you parted ways, and you never saw him again. Oh, you still see
I
him?
still see him right. Yeah, because I just live like Queen and Bathurst, so sometimes I actually go to that.
There's sorry, it's just the market. There's a lag, and there's times where I might cut you off, but I think it's because there's a lag.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah.
yeah. So if there's like a long pause in between, it's because I'm not sure if this is the lag, if it's lagging, or I'm just
Or if
kind
I
of waiting a couple
if I just
seconds
stop
after
talking.
you finish. Huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
No,
noticed
yeah.
that.
I'm just waiting to make sure that I'm not
Yeah,
cutting you off.
it's like you're via satellite, like on those news
Yeah.
shows. All right, here's Kevin. He's on the site of the superstore, and there's like a
Oh, you know
pause.
what? Real quick, I did get a question from from somebody,
Ooh,
and it's just the most random thing, more so probably for you. But the question was, have you guys ever met anybody famous, and when you met them, were they exactly how you thought they would be?
well, yeah, I met Russell Peters.
Well, where'd you meet them?
Well, I went to his show at the Air Canada Center,
Okay.
and I remember I was there. I brought a friend, and I was hoping to go backstage because I know some of Russell's friends,
Right.
right? So I was texting my friend who was backstage, and then what happens was, but what happens is at the show, they actually make people like get off their phones. Like you can't be on your phone. Like if they see you on your phone because you might be like taping it or something,
Right.
they'll like kick you out. So so I didn't we didn't text during the show. And then after the show, I was like, oh man, I really want to meet him. So then I was a little disappointed, and then this girl that I was with, she lived by Wonderland
Uh huh.
in Vaughan. So after the show, I drove her back to Vaughan, which is like 45 minutes whatever away, and then but then I didn't look at my phone because I'm driving, right? So as I drop her off, I look at my phone, and there was my friend who was backstage, John Paul, and he's like, "Yo, you want to come to this the after party?" I was like, "Yeah, for sure." I dropped off my friend, and then I drove back. I went back to Toronto. This is like 3 in the morning now.
Shit.
I drive back to Toronto. I then I go to this party. And then, but here's the thing: I'm like new into stand up. I was like maybe 2 years in, whatever. So I'm like I don't belong here, because I'm there with like all these like Canadian celebrities from like TSN and like Much Music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think Joe Carter was there too.
Joe Carter?
I think Joe Carter was there.
Oh shit.
Like Cardinal was there. But like I'm like out of my league. I'm so like shy. So I didn't like talk to anyone. So I go in, and then so Russell isn't even there yet. He's still at Air Canada Center, whatever. And then 5 in the morning, like Russell and his like entourage, they come in, whatever. And then he looks at me, and then he starts talking to someone else. And I was like, oh my god. I think he's gonna be like, because it's a private party.
Yeah.
We're at this private, like they rented out this bar. So I'm like, oh my god, he's probably gonna chew me out. Be like who the hell is this guy? This is a private party. Get out of here, right? That's what I'm thinking in my head. So he finally, after like 10 minutes, he actually comes up to me. He's like, hey, sorry about that, man. I wanted to talk to you before, but I had to go talk to my manager. I was like, you're Russell Peters. Like, don't apologize. This is your show. This is your party. So he was like a really nice guy. But yeah, no, that night it was like amazing because I don't know if you've been to like a Russell Peters show or if you've seen it. Basically, it's him on
Seen it.
stage. It's him on stage, and then he has two DJs behind him, DJ Spinbed and
Hmm.
Starting from Scratch, and then he has an
Yep.
opener. He has an opening comedian who does like 10 minutes off the top, and then he flew in, or he came with his friend from L.A. So he brought this guy from L.A.
Hmm.
And then so after during the after party, a bunch of people started leaving. Right, it's like 6 in the morning, like sun's coming up, you know. And then I was tired, but I'm like, I can't leave. This is like, when's the next time I'm gonna be at this kind of party, you know?
Right.
So I stayed. I stayed till the very end, and then like at 6:30, they ordered like Chinese food. So we all had Chinese food in the at this. So we're just sitting at this table. So it was like me, Russell, DJ Spin Band, Start from Scratch, the guy from L.A., and then my other friend. Well, my friend John Paul, he actually left because it was like Father's Day
Right.
at Sunday, so he actually left early. But then my other friend Malachi, the DJ, another DJ, he was there too. So I was just hanging out with him, and so it was just like six of us at this table eating Chinese food on like styrofoam plates. You know what I mean? And then like I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool. Like a few hours ago, these guys were on stage performing in front of like 12,000 people, and here we're just eating Chinese food. You know?
So was the food like it was like kind of craft services kind of thing? Like it came like
No, like they
ordered or
ordered. They ordered. Like they had it delivered. It was like just from some restaurant.
oh, so like when the delivery guy comes, do you like, oh, let me grab my wallet.
do
Uh,
I do I
how much
pretend?
should I put in? How much should I put in, guys?
No, I was actually doing it to.
Obviously, he paid for it, right?
No, I was actually doing it to Russell. I was like, "Hey, do you have any change?" He's like, "Hey, whatever you want." I was like, "Can I get the combo?" He's like, "Yes." Get the get the chicken wing combo.
Are we sharing this or is this like individual? That's actually a pretty cool story because I knew that you met him and everything, but I thought like up to the point where you had a conversation, that was it. But I didn't know you had a meal with him afterwards. That's pretty crazy.
You know. But I remember so after the party, because he has an entourage with him, right? He has
Yeah.
like bodyguards and things like that, right? So after the party, we're all like on King Street on the sidewalk, and then these two like Escalades, two black Escalades come and pick up him and his entourage, right? So Malachi is actually his friend from like their childhood friends,
Yeah.
right? So the next day, I think they were going to Russell's mom's house in, I think she lives in Vaughan, or Rexdale or some, I don't know, somewhere there. And so the next day they're all like, so th- so they're all like, oh, are you gonna come to mom's house tomorrow? And then they're like, yeah, we'll be there. But then I was waiting for them to ask me, but hey, you coming to Russell's mom's house? I was like, yeah, of course, I'll be there.
Hey guys, I'm not sure if I'm invited, but my schedule is completely open. If it calls for that, I could be there. I could get my own way. You don't have to pick me up. You don't have to pick me up.
Russell, just text me the Addy. I'll be there. You
No,
guys
that's
want it?
pretty cool though, man. Like that most people's interaction with someone famous is like, can I get a photo? And that's pretty much the extent. You guys had a meal together with other people. That's one for the books, buddy.
Yeah. That was a pretty cool night. It was a long night, but totally
Worth
worth
it.
it. Totally worth
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Because even like my interactions, like I met um Billy Gunn at the airport one time.
Ooh, Mr.
Badass
Ass.
Billy, Mr. Ass. I didn't meet him. Like I was a little bit starstruck, but he was getting on like the at the airport. You know those movators,
Yeah, yeah,
and he was going past me, and I was just like, I didn't know what to say. Like
yeah,
I
yeah.
had no clue what to say. Another time when I was at the airport again, I saw Jake the Snake Roberts,
Ooh,
and so but he was walking by me in this really obscure area. I was just kind of waiting for a ride, and it wasn't going to be there for a while, so I just kind of took advantage of the Wi-Fi, and I'm just sitting there, and then I look up, and then this is this tall guy, looks really disheveled, walking towards me, and then I look closer, and I'm like, oh my god, that's Jake the Snake Roberts. And as it comes closer, I'm thinking like, how do you address him? Like, hey Jake, or Mr. Roberts. So I was like, Mr. Roberts, and then just kind of nodded my head,
yeah.
and he nodded his head too, and then in his voice, I guess he was lost because he was like, I can't find a goddamn thing in this airport. I was like, oh, he's upset. He was pretty upset. He looked upset. Yeah, he looked upset. Can't find a goddamn thing in this airport.
Oh man, that'd be so cool. I'll be like, yo, can you? Hey Jay, can you DDT me?
Yeah, in the
So
airport.
sick. Yeah.
But he just didn't. He was at that point where I don't think he had met DDP at that point yet. So he was in rough shape.
Oh, he didn't. Yeah, he wasn't. He didn't do the yoga yet.
No, no, no,
He didn't
no.
get himself cleaned up.
Yeah, I don't think I've met. I can't remember. I can't recall anybody else. So, by far out of the two of us, Ernie has had the better of the experiences with a famous celebrity. Definitely by far.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's more, but like, it just feels like forever ago. You know.
Well, you're also good friends with Ron Jossel, who's a local. I mean, he's not local, but I mean, like, he's from Toronto, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, it was actually him that from because I went to LA the first time like 8 years ago or whatever,
Yeah,
and so John Paul was actually staying at Russell's house,
right.
but Russell was on tour. He was in Boston, I think, so he wasn't even there.
So wait, is this the story where you stayed at his house, but DJ Jazzy Jeff was there?
Yeah, yeah. So I went to LA, and then Ron was there, and so I'm just texting him because he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing a show at Laugh Factory on Long Beach. Come hang out." I'm like, "All right, cool, cool, cool." So I go to Long Beach. I meet up with Ron, and he goes, "Oh, John Paul's here too. He's staying in LA. So let's go meet up with him after." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, let's go." So he on the GPS he puts like this address, and I'm like, "Oh, where's he staying?" And Ron's like, "Oh, he's staying at Russell's house." And then I was like, "Ooh," you know, I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm going to Russell's house. This is pretty cool." But he's like, "Oh, but Russell's not there. He's on tour." I'm like, "Oh, okay, whatever." But it's just cool to be in the house because I've seen the house on
Right?
Cribs, on like MTV Cribs. You
Does
know,
it have
so
an elevator and everything?
it was that house. It was like his second house. I think he moved again after this. So it's one with the elevator. It's like a huge mansion, and we're like, this is the house that Comedy built. You know, it's pretty cool. And then so every night we're in LA, we'd go grab some food, and then at the end of the night we'd go back to Russell's house and just eat in the kitchen. You know, so then I remember so one night John Paul gets a call from Russell. He goes, "Oh, my friend Jeff is coming by tomorrow night. Just let him in, and then he's gonna stay there for like the night or whatever."
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, "Okay, cool." So the next night we're hanging out in the kitchen again, and then now a bunch of cars pull into the driveway, and we're like, "Who's that?" He's like, "Oh, maybe that's Russell's friend, Jeff." Right? So he opens the door, and then it's DJ Jazzy Jeff.
What?
Yeah, yeah. And then it was so cool, like seeing him. Like, I think so. He had his whole like entourage. Like his son was there, And it was pretty cool because like his son was talking to like one of Jazz's friends, and he's like, because we're in like Bel Air,
Yeah.
right? So he's like, oh yeah, my uncle Will, he lives like near here or something. And I was like, oh my god, Will Smith, probably. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it's him. You know, and then later on that night, because we were just like chilling out, but then but those guys they all went to bed, like Jazz and his entourage, they all went to sleep because like it's a huge house. It's like
Mhm.
there's probably like 9 master bedrooms.
Oh,
You know what I mean? They're like hotel suites pretty much in this house. So Jazz comes back down and he's just wearing boxers, you know, but he's still wearing the glasses. You know, so in my head I'm like, are those prescription or
it must be.
but he's still wearing the sunglasses.
Or maybe he's like music soul child. You know, his eye does that weird thing. It's like that thing.
Stupid. All right. Well, it seems that Kevin, our little baby, is getting cranky now. So I think it's time to wrap this up. Yeah.
Oh,
So thank you once again for listening. And as always, you can find me on the internet at Ernie Vicente. You can find Kevin.
at Kevaris, KEVVARIAS on Instagram.
Yes, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave it here in the comments or email us at the BFFisodes@gmail.com.
And don't forget to follow us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that you can follow us. Look at or watch us on YouTube, especially.
Yes. All right. So I'll see you guys again next week.
Toodles.